Shalom. Before anything else, I want to start with gratitude. Gratitude to God for breath, awareness, and another opportunity to grow today. If you're watching this, slow down for a moment. Not because something is wrong with you, but because your life has been moving faster than your clarity. I'm Christian Brock. This channel is for people who want real improvement, growth, structure, and direction. Not complacency, not stagnation. If you want to know more about my story, you can comment below, but right now I want to give you something useful. The biggest issue people are facing right now isn't failure, it's uncertainty. Not knowing what step to take, not knowing who to listen to, not knowing if the effort will even matter. Uncertainty creates hesitation. Hesitation turns into distraction, and distraction quietly steals years. The Bible says, walk by faith, not by sight. That doesn't mean ignore reality. It means we don't let confusion decide our direction. Here's the truth. God is not confusion. God is not chaos. God is not noise. The word tells us God is love, and love brings order, love brings clarity over time. If your life feels chaotic, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means your structure needs attention. Bring more attention to your structure, man. Peace doesn't come from proving yourself. It comes from protecting your energy. You must protect your energy. These were seasons where I chose silence over explanation, solitude over validation, learning over impressing, not because I was better, but because clarity requires peace. Peace doesn't come from proving yourself. It comes from protecting your energy. There were seasons where I chose silence over explanation, solitude over validation, and learning over impressing. Not because I was better, but because clarity requires space. When you protect your peace, you stop leaking energy into places that don't grow you. Here's something practical you can immediately apply. Every task completed is a victory over inertia, not motivation, not hype, completion. When you plan your hours, you stop negotiating with your future self. Structure creates respect, not just from others, but from yourself. I don't see working out as vanity, I see it as physical therapy for the mind. Movement clears mental fog. Resistance builds emotional resilience. Sometimes that looks like 50 push-ups without stopping. Other times it's a full body routine, starting from the foundation up. The point isn't intensity. The point is alignment. I believe in the spiritual world, and I stay grounded in this one. The enemy doesn't attack through fear alone, but through distraction, lust, and exhaustion. Awareness doesn't make me paranoid. It makes me intentional. Grounded in the physical, disciplined in the unseen. That balance keeps me steady. You don't need to rush your purpose. You need to respect your process. Walk by faith, build structure, protect your peace, complete small tasks daily. That's how clarity compounds. Take what applies, leave what doesn't, and move forward. Shalom. Don't forget to be present. Stay present. That's the first law. Present and gratitude journal. Be grateful. Be more grateful in life. Stay present. And if you're still watching at this point, you're not here for entertainment. You're here because something in you knows your life can't stay the way it's been. Most people never stop long enough to examine why they feel lost. They just keep moving, scrolling, consuming, and reacting. But direction doesn't come from motion alone. It comes from intentional motion. Here's something I had to learn. Uncertainty isn't a sign you're doing wrong in life or you're doing life wrong. It's a signal that you've outgrown the version of yourself that relied on comfort. And growth always feels unstable right before it stabilizes. That's why structure matters so much in these seasons. Not rigid rules, not perfection, but anchors. Simple anchors that bring you back to yourself. Waking up with intention, moving your body, completing a task even when you don't feel like it. These aren't habits. These are agreements you make with yourself. When you break those agreements daily, your confidence erodes, not because you're incapable, but because your nervous system learns not to trust you. And when you keep them, even in small ways, self-trust returns. That's why I emphasize planning your hours, not to control life, but to contain it. When your time has boundaries, your mind has peace. When your day has shape, your thoughts stop drifting. Chaos thrives in unstructured space. This is also where many people misunderstand faith. Faith isn't passive. Faith is moving forward without needing every answer first. Faith looks like discipline on days when motivation doesn't show up. Faith looks like obedience before results appear. And yes, temptation shows up hardest right before alignment locks in. Distraction intensifies. Lust pulls harder. Old habits call louder, not because you're weak, but because something in you is shifting. Awareness is critical. You don't fight temptation with shame. You redirect it with action. Redirect it with action. Move your body. Change your environment. Complete a task. Energy doesn't disappear, it transforms. This is why physical discipline matters. Your body teaches your mind how to endure. Callous the mind. Your breath teaches your nervous system how to calm. Your muscles teach your spirit that resistance doesn't mean danger. That lessons translates everywhere. Here's another truth most people don't hear is you don't need to find your purpose. You need to build the capacity to carry it. Purpose requires stamina, structure, and emotional regulation. That's what these daily practices develop. And if your life feels quiet right now, good. Quiet seasons sharpen alignment. They reveal what distractions were hiding. They strip away noise until only truth remains. So if you're in between chapters, not where you were, but not yet where you're going, don't rush transition. Build your foundation. Complete your tasks. Protect your peace. Strengthen your body. Clarify your mind. That's how leaders are formed. And again, thank you for staying. Attention is the most valuable currency left. And if you're committed to growth, anchor this moment. When the video ends, write down 3 non-negotiables for tomorrow. Complete them. No excuses. No non-negotiation. You're building for a stronger you for tomorrow. You're not drifting. You're being shaped. Shalom.